With evidence of British brewing dating back some 6,000 years, you could argue that the nation's love for ale is nothing new, but the perception of ale drinkers may be perilously outdated. New research reveals that 1 in 4 Brits have developed a taste for real ale in recent years, and it's no longer the preserve of old men, with almost 3 million women saying that they're real ale converts, according to the Co-op study. So let's get under the froth of real ale and have a look at its long and sometimes surprising journey, from cheeky home brew via the monasteries and abbeys of old to become one of Britain's 21st century boom industries, and the drink of choice for the hippest of the hip, including me.
The English word ale dates back more than 1,000 years, but brewing itself is many more millennia old. Archaeologists have found evidence of brewing 7,000 years ago in what is now modern-day Iran. British ale was traditionally first made using only malted barley, yeast and water, until the arrival of good old hops from Flanders in the 15th century. Brewing was nearly always a woman's job in yesteryear and was done at hyper-local level, serving local families and neighbourhoods. We'd call it home brew. Brewing in the Middle Ages then became largely the preserve of monasteries and abbeys, and it quickly became big business. Records show nearly half our exports at this time was beer.
It's always been a drink of the people, but royal households loved a drop of real ale too. Ladies in waiting at the court of Henry VII were entitled to a gallon of ale each for breakfast.
But bottled ale came about by mistake in 1568. The Dean of St Paul's used to pour his ale into a sealed bottle to go fishing. He left one bottle by the riverbank, returning days later to discover it was still drinkable. And lo and behold, bottled ale was born. The start of the 19th century saw the emergence of mysterious dark ales and porters, whilst India Pale Ale became the must-have drink for millions from its inception in 1829, and it's still beloved today. But ale and beer suddenly had an almighty fight on their hands with the arrival of fizzy lagers in the mid-20th century, which started to take sales away. In the 70s, the fight back began, and there's been a renaissance of real ales across the land, with record high figures of independent brewers from John O'Groats to Land's End. And today, brewers are brewing all sorts of ales. We're not just talking bitter and mild, but stouts and porters, wheat ales, amber ales, even heather ales in Scotland. There's now a huge variety out there and a booming demand for real, locally sourced ale. The cooperative food are adding new breweries to their ale range to provide customers with real ale from really close to home. The Society of Independent Brewers say there are now over 1,500 brewers throughout the country, serving the UK's ale enthusiasts. From Saltaire in Yorkshire, Conwy Brewery in North Wales to the Orkney Brewery in Scotland, where, conveniently enough, the very first evidence of British brewing has been found. And so we end where our story began.
Here's to the real ale revival. Cheers.